Hi, I'm Randy McLean from WayPoint Analytics. Jonathan Bine from Real Results Marketing is with us in the studio today. And Jonathan, I've been particularly excited about something that has just come out, and that is a new report that you've released through MDM. And I know that when you first were talking about the concept of this report some time ago, I was pretty excited about what would come out of it. So why don't you give us a lowdown on the report and maybe some of your findings?
It's a very simple idea. We've seen a lot of research on how consumers like to shop and how consumers like to buy. And when I say shopping, I mean researching, evaluating, assessing. When I say buying, I mean ordering, purchasing, transacting.
Right.
Nothing had been done in the distribution space, and as we know, things are changing very rapidly in distribution with digital platforms and so on and so forth. The general move in all of this is towards more efficient shopping and buying mechanisms. Mm-hmm. So whether it's a move towards digital or whether it's a move away from field sales towards inside sales, that is the general trend that the data is showing. There are some specific trends that we think were very, very striking. One is that this has been a theme of years. The millennials are coming, the millennials are coming, the millennials are coming. The data that we came across, this is actually not our research, this is from Google, is that the millennials are now a huge portion of the purchasing infrastructure and authority. Yeah. So
millennials are here.
They are here. It's not 2020. It's 2016. They are here now, and it's going to increase. A second thing that we saw was that as popular as e-commerce is, and as much as we hear and read about e-commerce, the most preferred method of transmitting an order is to send an order as a PDF via email to a CSR.
Oh, that's very surprising. Very surprising. And what do you think drives that?
I think it's a couple of things. If we look at the shopping and buying distinction again, a number of e-commerce sites are actually sort of transforming into shopping sites, where people shop there, they get information there, but then they use a more efficient mechanism to buy. Yes. In the case of the email ordering, one of our customers' CIOs said it very well. He said, if I'm your customer and I go to your site and I enter an order via e-commerce, I'm doing order entry.
Right.
However, if I send you a PDF via email, you're doing order entry.
Got it.
So now one of the other things we found out is that there are great solutions for automating the receipt of those orders, and that's a whole nother discussion, but a very powerful thing in terms of getting efficiency.
I would have theorized that perhaps this is just the reflection of the early stages of getting company systems to interoperate. I would expect that it's more convenient for somebody to create they probably have a system that they can push a button and it produces a PDF and emails it. And so it's convenient for them to order that way, and that's why why it goes that way, rather than maybe transmitting the actual information to prevent order entry on the other side.
That's right, and the customers for whom this is relevant are customers that would probably not merit the attention of getting EDI set up. So think of it as a poor man's EDI.
There's a good point as well, and basically it's pre-EDI,
right?
If you think about it. Okay, very interesting. So what else did you find in the study that was surprising or enlightening? We
found that there is a significant shift away from field sales. One of the questions we asked was, how often do you want to hear from your supplier via different mechanisms, email, print mail, field sales, inside sales? Something like 37% of the respondents said, I either never want a field sales rep visit again, or I want a field sales rep visit once a year, which is basically never.
Yeah.
And that was about as popular as the inside sales call. So the days of hour-long sales calls and a dozen donuts are just much fewer and further between.
Well, I think that is a big reflection on a couple of things. And one of my takeaways is that field sales organizations are not providing customers' perception of value that is sufficient to the time investment that the customer has to make with the sales rep.
However, it is highly customer dependent, or it's highly distributor dependent. We had one distributor that was a two-step distributor their numbers are not part of this data. 96% of their customers wanted to see their sales rep at least once a month.
Okay, well, so now I'm curious to find out maybe someday what the differential was and what it was about that company, what a call from that company that was so important that these people were looking for the sales rep to come, whereas everybody else seems to be saying, stay away.
Right.
Yeah, so I think that would be an enlightening thing to discover at some point. We're seeing the same kind of thing anecdotally. Companies are certainly moving from a traditional field sales model where they have feet on the street pounding on doors to try and get sales into a more efficient model where they have some division of labor, where they have specialist people doing the prospecting and lead generation specialists, a very, very narrow group of people that actually make presentations, and then all the follow-up and customer maintenance is again done by specialists which are normally not in the field.
Right.
And that's a much lower cost, higher value model for a lot of companies, and it's interesting that your results show that that actually fits with what the customers desire.
Now, there was another piece that I think was a huge takeaway, which is that a number of distributors are spending literally 10 times too much on e-commerce relative to what they need, or 5 times too little. Obviously, there's a problem with either one. Too much, you're wasting CapEx dollars. Too little, you may be turning customers off, and you actually may not be losing. You may be losing more than just the e-commerce business. You actually may be losing the customer if that's part of how they intend to do business with you.
Oh, that's unbelievable. So that's incredible. There are companies in the sweet spot, but there are companies that are over-investing and they're not likely to get a return. But there are other companies that are making insufficient or inappropriate investments that are actually hurting their customer base.
That's right. We had one distributor whose customers participated in the survey. We had 3,500 respondents, by the way, so it's a pretty good size.
Yes.
Before we did the survey with them, they were really convinced of the importance of their field salespeople.
Right.
Thought they were instrumental in the business. And the shopping and buying came back and said, your business is far, far more transactional than you ever realized. Your customers want to get in, they want to get out, they don't want to go to a branch, they don't want to talk to a field salesperson. They're looking at 1.5 lines per order. So one of the other things that was powerful about the research is to see how much it does vary from one customer base to the next. So the report that's available from Modern Distribution Management will illustrate the broad trends in the industry. However, what we did see is that it varies significantly from customer base to customer base. We had one distributor whose customers were in Silicon Valley. It was everything you'd expect from customer base of Silicon Valley. We had another one that was Gulf Coast, much more traditional, much more focused on interacting with the salespeople, and so.
Yeah, so there's a cultural element to this as well. All right, so some of the things that I learned about from the information in the survey is quite gives me ideas of where we are and how we're progressing as an industry and how the market is changing around us. That has given me personally some great insights into things that I think are going to be important to myself and to our clients going into the future. And so I found this report to be surprising, enlightening, and very, very important. So I would suggest that you do take some time and explore what's in the report. Because there may be some things in here that could reveal some tremendous opportunities for your company going to the future. So to get more information about the report, go to the address on your screen and get your own copy of the report.